first round got dropped twice. I evaded maybe 3 kicks. She kicked me again, tried doing it, and just caught me with an elbow. I remember going back to the corner. Brian's like, we need you to win this fight. Be like Rod's Hang right now, like bite down on your mouthpiece. Okay, I need to like up the scorecard and just score. I was definitely headhunting.
What still drives you to fight?
Greatness, honestly. I want to be champion again and get that back. But that's not my sole identity.
We've seen you do some fun projects such as Vogue Philippines.
I don't know any other girl who tell you playing dress up isn't fun. I think it's super fun.
Is there any chance we can see Jackie in MMA at all, or is that part? Welcome to another episode of Kit and the Brit. Today we have an absolute force with us in the studio. She is the inaugural One Championship Women's Strawweight Champion and former #1 ranked WBC female and one of the most technical and dangerous strikers on the planet. Please give a warm welcome to Jackie Buntan, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are you today, Jackie?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, rumor has it that it's technically your first time in New York City.
It is. Yeah, I get to be here for a full weekend, so excited about that.
Awesome. So tell the viewers what's really important. What are some of the food and attractions of New York City that you have on your list?
Oh my God, everything. I have a very close friend who's from here. I asked her, like, where should I go? She's like, honestly, just pick a city or pick a neighborhood and just walk, and that's the best way to explore it. So I don't know, all the food, pizza, bagels, hot dogs. Sounds silly, but I don't know. I guess all the cliche New York stuff. So I'm excited about that. Do some shopping too.
Awesome. And we loved, like, the first thing we always ask our guests is, how did you get into Muay Thai? Because we know everyone that is here loves Muay Thai, and we love hearing the story of how you found Muay Thai.
Yeah. So growing up, when I was a little girl, I was definitely a tomboy, always outside doing anything. I lived by the beach at the time, so always like skating, riding my bike. Just didn't want to be inside the house. And around 11, I was interested in martial arts. And at the time, Taekwondo, karate was the most popular. There's like a bunch of dojos by my house, but it just didn't click for me. It didn't really seem like something I wanted to do. My brother-in-law at the time was training Muay Thai for hobby, just for fitness. Kind of introduced me to it. He's like, I think you'd like this. Had no clue what it was. Had no clue about martial arts, but even at 11, I was just so fascinated by it. Like, it just looked so straightforward. Right. It looked violent, but it looked beautiful. Like, you could tell like it was an art form. And again, this is me coming from no martial arts background. It clicked instantly. And just Googled the closest gym next to my house, which was Boxing Works in Hermosa Beach at the time, and been blessed and lucky enough to be under Boxing Works and my coach, Brian Popejoy, ever since.
Wow. Yeah. And so you started at 11 years old.
Yeah.
So was there like a teenager class or like a youth class, and then, you gravitated to the adults classes?
Yeah, pretty much. So I started at 11, started in the kids class, and then right around 13 years old, again, I started this for hobby. I didn't want to compete or anything like that. But around 13, kind of excelled at a fast amount, and was asked if I wanted to compete, have my first competition. So around that's when I started taking the adults class. And at the time, it was just literally all men, older men, and 13, 14-year-old me. Lucky enough to have like 1 or 2 females come in and out. But yeah, those early teen years, it was just training with older men.
Right.
Was Janet Todd there at the same time?
She came in. So she was in college, graduated from college, moved back home. She was from Hermosa Beach. So I think she came back to Boxing Works around when I was like 15 years old. And instantly she's like, I want to get back into it. I want to compete. I want to fight. So seeing her, all her success and motivation from fighting and wanting to get back to fighting after school, like, just motivated me. And it worked out because we were about the same size. So
perfect training
Brian's
partner,
just like, okay, you guys train together.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then at what point was it an aha or lipo moment where you're like, I can really make a career out of this?
Honestly, it wasn't till a long time. It wasn't until maybe I don't know, I was like 19 years old. It was my second year in college. I was in community college about to transfer, but I had no clue what I wanted to major in. I was kind of just finding things to major in that was close to Muay Thai. So I was like, it could be dietetics, it could be kinesiology. So I did kinesiology, figured out how much schooling that was, and I didn't want to do it. So I tried doing dietetics because I love to cook. I was like, oh, nutrition kind of fits in a athlete lifestyle. And then at that point, I was just like dreading going to school, and I was like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm just kind of forcing it, and yeah, I made the decision, go full throttle and try to pursue this career and see where it takes me.
So how many fights did you have as an amateur?
I don't remember. Maybe like 25, 28, something like that.
Yeah. All out in California.
California, a few in Canada, but all throughout the U.S. really.
Right. But so you never got the chance to come to do the Friday night fights where
No,
I think Janet came a couple of times.
Yeah, no, didn't get to do that. All my amateur career besides Canada was like, all within the States. I was able to do IFMA actually, Pan Am's IFMA in 2018 in Argentina. So I got that experience out of it, but yeah, most of it was still within the United States.
And there was a lot of fights, where someone at your weight can get consistent fighting.
Yeah, a lot. When I first started as a kid, like my first fight was at the TBAs in Iowa, that big tournament. I can't remember what weight that was, maybe 115, and then fought around that weight for a while until I was like 20, 21, went up to 125 and just stayed at that weight, especially being a woman. It just, at that age, you're just, even now, you're just fluctuating the whole time. But 125,
you feel comfortable at that weight.
Feel comfortable, strong. Like, I definitely will not be going down to 115.
Well, not after this weekend of New York food.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the transition from an amateur career to one championship, the biggest platform. Tell us about how you got the call, signing the contract, the transition.
Yeah, it's a very tall order to do that because, I was lucky enough to have Brian Popejoy as my coach. His, whole thing with transitioning to professional career, it's, I wanted to pursue this because I love it. I'm not doing it because of money. If I wanted to do it for money, I'd finish school. But with Brian, it was kind of like, step on all the pins and needles in your amateur career before you turn professional, right? Get all the experience you can, deal with all the things you have to deal with before getting to the big leagues, whether that's one championship or any professional show. But yeah, so originally fought all the girls in my division throughout the States, kind of didn't really have any opponents left. Did some fights in Canada, won that, no other opponents left in my weight class. So Brian's, okay, I think it's time to go pro. And originally was supposed to go pro on I think it was a WCK show out in San Diego, kind of like a local card. And something happened with my medicals, got screwed up. That fight got canceled, day of weigh-ins. And then like 2 weeks later, Glory gave me a contract to turn pro with them. And like a week after that, one championship gave me a contract.
So you pretty much hadn't had a fight as a professional before you got the contract.
I was able to get, these two amazing opportunities. Obviously, went with one because I could do Muay Thai there.
Yeah.
So
but that's got to be kind of big though, because the skill level from the amateurs to the professional, especially, you get a contract from one is almost like night and day.
Oh, completely night and day. But, again, it was a tall order, whether it was Glory or one championship, but I was so confident in my skill set, my ability, and my coach, and I really know, I had confidence that I did everything in my amateur career. I got everything out of it that I possibly could to be confident enough to step into a bigger stage like that, let alone debut in one. Right. So yeah, we went with one championship. Was supposed to fight February 2020. COVID happened. Wow. Turning pro, I was stagnant for almost 2 years, and then got to debut for one in 2021 to fight Wonder Girl, which was a tall order for me because she was like, one of the stars in the company, was like on a 3-fight knockout streak.
But it must have been hard during COVID to try and keep training and then like having that fight straight after COVID.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but I mean, I'm sure every gym was doing it. You know, you have the tarps up, but we're still in the gym.
Sean and I had a speakeasy gym.
Oh, there
You'd
you
have
go.
to knock on the door a certain amount of times,
Yeah.
and then we'd ask you, "What are you doing here?" And you're like,
It's so crazy to think about that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And all you're trying to do is work out, right? It's so
Exactly.
crazy. But yeah, same deal, you know. We still had the fight team training. Me and Janet were training a lot, whether it was her house or at Boxing Works, because around the same time I debuted, she was fighting around the same time too. So it was kind of in sync for that time being. But yeah, it was a very tall order. But again, I watched her fight. I was confident. I was more technical, smarter, faster, stronger than this girl. So we took it. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a bit of that fight, and yeah, you definitely gave a good account for yourself for it
Thank
being your
you.
first fight. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think the point where you dropped her, I was saying to Kit earlier when I was kind of dubious of whether the time had run out for that count or not.
I was like
a
a 15 count.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was an 8
that's what
count.
I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, you really gave a good account of yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you describe some of the challenges or difficulties you had fighting in Asia between the time difference and the jet lag? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, all of it was different. You know, here as an amateur, I had so many fights in LA, like in Burbank. From my house to there, it was like a 40-minute drive. It was like nothing, you know, unless you do a tournament, which is out of state, still no problem. But flying international, I think at the time I only flew to Thailand once in 2017 for a training trip. So I was lucky to have Janet as an inspiration mentor till this day, because she kind of showed me the ropes. She, you know, especially in 2021 for one championship, it was still COVID era. So they had athletes flying in quite early, and you would have to quarantine. And then you finish the fight, you still have to quarantine. So you'd still have to stay there for 2-3 days.
Wow.
And you had no contact with each other. The only time I saw Brian or Janet was when I trained or when I fought. It was all an appointment system. You had to make an appointment for the training room, for the treadmill, like everything. So there's like minimal contact. So that was all of 2021. It was really weird for like my first pro fight. So after that, though, I felt more normal, kind of just like, oh, I could see all the other fighters and wander around Asia myself. But yeah, the biggest thing I think is the jet lag. Like, it's funny, back then I would fly in much earlier. Like now I'd fly in at least a week before the fight. But I'm finding I kind of get used to the time zone quickly once I land, and I could kind of get away with probably flying in less than a week, because I'm finding it now that I'm getting older. I know I'm still young, but I don't know, mentally, if I'm there for too long, I just get too locked in too fast, and then I'm not in a good headspace. Right. So I think I'd prefer to get there a little bit later, but still enough time to get the water weight off and stuff.
And how did you find getting all that weight off, you know, in such little time?
Running on the treadmill. Literally just that, put on the sweatsuit, run. With one championship, you do hydration tests, so it's kind of like you're not depleting yourself of water. You're just drinking a lot of water all week. So when it does come time to sweat, at least for me, you're sweating it out quite easily, quite fast compared to like your standard traditional weight cut where you're already depleted, dehydrated.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite fights or moments at one championship?
Oh man, I think there's probably 2 fights. For sure, my debut fight, just because it's a debut fight on a big platform like that, was able to show out. I know I came in as an underdog too. And then maybe the second one was winning the world championship, of course, against not just winning the world title, but fighting someone like Anissa Mexon. Like I would watch her when I was still in high school, when I didn't even want to pursue this as a career. You know, I was a fan first. So those 2 for sure.
And you had 2 epic wars with Stella, right? Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about those 2 fights.
Yeah, September of 2025 was our first fight for under Muay Thai rules. Yeah, that was a great fight. I obviously, first round got dropped twice. I will say, I think it was really just once.
You seem
neither
to
here nor
be
there.
up very quick from it anyway. I mean.
Yeah, and you know, it was one of those things where I remember that like that lean evade is just so ingrained in me since I was a kid, honestly. and most of the time it works, but there's that one time it doesn't. I remember with that, like I evaded maybe 3 kicks, ran her into a big right hand left hook, and it landed in a row every time. Then she kicked me again, tried doing it, and just caught me with an elbow. And then honestly, that was the first round. I don't think I remembered anything until the middle of the second round. It was kind of just on cruise control, just like muscle memory at that point. I remember going back to the corner, whether that was, I think it was the third round, and Brian, third or fourth, I can't remember, Brian's like, we need you to win this fight. You need to like be like Rod's Hang right now, like bite down on your mouthpiece. I was like, oh, I hate hearing that in the corner. I'm like, I gotta work right now. So at that, my headset or my mind space was kind of just like, okay, I need to like up the scorecard and just score. I was definitely headhunting, was pretty much just boxing her the rest of the fight. You know, did a lot of damage, but it was more so just like, okay, I need to catch up because she scored a knockdown those first 2.
What's it like getting hit with those gloves? Because like I hear such a pop. It's such a pop when it's on the TV or you know, you're watching the fight that I just can't imagine what it's like to get hit with them.
Yeah, you know, it feels great hitting somebody with it, but when they hit you back, it doesn't feel great.
Because it doesn't matter how close you bring your hand, sometimes it will always find its way in wherever you throw it.
Wherever, yeah. That was the biggest the biggest difference too, transitioning to one was defense for boxing. You know, with boxing gloves, you could just stick your hands up and you have these pillows to, you know, deal with. You could literally just shell up with one. I remember my debut fight, like your hands are here in boxing gloves, and in training, I'd get bruises on my head because I'd just be used to here where your fingers are out. So I literally would be like, have to grab my hairline and close my head, be able to block everything. But yeah, it's quite gnarly getting hit with it. Sometimes you get hit, it goes away, but there's some that like you feel it till you go home.
And had you done much boxing on its own in a sense rather than, you know, with kickboxing or...
No, it's funny. Like my whole amateur career, I was very much so teep kick, be on the back foot. There's lots of fights of me just leaning on the rope, waiting for you to come in because I was just so confident with like my like teep, kick away, that type of stuff. I had good hands, barely used them. Like Brian would always want me to use it, but I don't know, it just never came out. And then
until you got to one.
Until I got to one, you put those tiny gloves on. Also, like the game plan for that first fight, she was just open right down the center. So Brian's like, we were working this pull down, cross, check hook. But yeah, you could get away with so much with those little gloves. Obviously, like could be devastating, but all it takes just one shot, not even full power, just accuracy, and that's it.
So we know you have a huge following, but especially from the Filipino fans. So what does that mean to you to have such a huge support from the Filipino community?
Oh, it means the world, honestly. Like I have 3 older sisters. All of my family, I'm first gen born here in America. All my sisters, my parents were born in the Philippines. So it I know I have all of America rocking with me, but to know I also have the Philippines and more people from across the world, it just feels like a ton of support. And, I think I always recognize this ever since I was a little girl. Like, I think representation's so important. And, growing up, there's women fighting, but I wasn't able to look up to another Filipina woman, let alone Filipino American, doing what I'm doing. Right. And, although to me it just feels like I'm just living my life, doing what I love, I get to inspire other little girls or women older than me, women the same age as me, to just pursue something out of the ordinary, something unorthodox, just go for it, give them the confidence to do so. So it means the world. It feels like a full circle moment too, especially with my family all being born there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like with that, like you just said, with, getting more younger girls into it, with the explosion of so many more women in Muay Thai nowadays. Like I started in 96 and there really wasn't that many,
Yeah.
1 or 2 here or there. But now it's just...
So many. I love to see it, yeah.
And is the sport growing in the Philippines, or have you actually had a chance to go back and see if the sport's growing? Because I know MMA is becoming very popular in the Philippines, but is Muay Thai also becoming very popular in the Philippines?
I've only actually been to the Philippines twice, both for fighting related. One was to fight, one was to like shoot this reality show for one championship, but that was again was for MMA for the men. So MMA is super huge out there. Boxing too, but I think MMA is still going to be more popularized. There's still people, you know, competing Muay Thai out there, even being on the IFMA team for Team Philippines, but I think right now MMA is still kind of a bit more popular than it is Thai boxing.
So how was the second fight with Stella? How did that one go?
Yeah, the second fight was not too long ago, February of this year. Different rules, so kickboxing, obviously a bit higher stakes because I put my belt on the line. You know, to be honest, the first fight we had a game plan, got dropped, and I was just headhunting. You know, I still think I did a lot of damage that fight, but for the second fight, it was more so, okay, let's finish the game plan, the original game plan we had, and include a little bit more things in terms of like, I remember for this kickboxing fight, super popular now, working the calf kick outside and inside, especially with Stella. How she kicks too, she's pretty tall and upright, so those legs are open to intercept as she's kicking, or whether it's just a quick counter. Covering distance wasn't an issue. I'm quite comfortable now with those small gloves being in your face and just trying to box you. Like that's fine for me. But the biggest thing, and I think when we first fought, I remember what came down to the judges' scoreboard was her kicks were kind of moving me. Even though I would block it with my arms, it kind of pushed me back. So they scored it in favor of her. So we worked a lot of strong blocks. So being able to kick a whole lot. If she kicks, I block, I kick back, find my hands off of that versus just rely on only boxing. So it's funny. I think I boxed her the whole fight the first time. The second time, I feel like I kicked her way more. Obviously, it would be great to combine the two. But yeah, that second fight, it was split. I knew it was split when we went to the decision. I still thought I did a bit more to secure the win. But at the end of the day, I understand why it was split.
Do you think there'll be a third fight?
I'm hoping. I mean, I pushed for it, but again, dependent on her, dependent on one. You know, I have no problem with getting into another 3-round fight, whether that's Muay Thai, kickboxing, and hopefully find my way back to her. That's the goal.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
It'll be exciting.
Hopefully we go to watch that in Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys got to come out, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of those one championship shows in Thailand, and it's a full-on production. You know?
The Lumpini ones or like the ones in the cage?
No, the Lumpini ones.
Okay, yeah.
It's a full-on production, you know.
It really
you come
is.
out on a big screen, and it's
that
very
was
nice.
one of the pieces of advice Brian gave me like right before I walked out for my debut fight. He's like, I know you're an athlete. This is your sport. This is sports to you. But this is an entertainment company, which is true, right? So he's like, you got to go out there and do what we practice for 2 months, but you got to go out there and perform and entertain and make these people want to make you come back again and again and again. Yeah. And I think that's like an important thing to understand when you're at that level and performing in a stage like that.
What's the first, when you come out on the stage, what's the first feeling you feel for the first time you come out and just the crowd is going crazy and it's just you?
Honestly, it's nerves right until they put me on the marker, and then they put this dramatic smoke in your face, and then it's the same sweet smell as smoke, and then they cue the music, and it's just
switch
laser focus. Like I'm just excited at that point. Like my family is always like, you look kind of silly because you're always smiling when you get out there, but it's not. It's like a genuine smile. I'm just like, okay, I've been training my whole life to do this. I get to do it. Like I'm just so lucky,
Nice.
That's a really grateful feeling. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you keep describing what a great relationship and partnership you have with your coach, Brian. Tell us about how it's evolved through the years and how he's helped you to come to this level.
Yeah, again, like I've been with Brian since I started, since I was 11 years old, been 17 years now. So like he's of course coach, but he's family at the end of the day. He's like almost like a second dad in a coaching way, if that makes sense. But we're very in sync. We're very in tune. He could be a man of little words, and
a bit like me.
Yeah. And I could kind of read him and see what he's feeling, or if I'm in training and I'm doing something right, usually it's no words, or I know I'm doing it right. Unless I'm doing it wrong, he'll he'll let me know. But I guess what I'm saying is we've been together for so long that there doesn't even need to be communication. I could kind of get a feel off what the energy is. And yeah, I mean, maybe I'm biased because he's been my only coach, but I think he's one of the best out there for Muay Thai, period. He just has a detailed eye unlike any other, honestly. And that's not just from watching tape of a girl I'm about to fight. That's just even watching me, whether I'm hitting pads, sparring. It could be the tiniest little detail that he'll notice. And I've been training for 17 years, and sometimes I don't even see these things, you know.
Wow.
So I'm just really lucky to have him as a coach, and I don't think I'm ever going to find a coach with the same brain as him. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's hope you don't have to go looking for one.
Yeah.
No, 17 years is a long time
Yeah,
to
very
be
long
with somebody. Yeah. Like he's seen you since 11 till now.
Yeah, very
That's
long.
amazing. Yeah. So with all that you've accomplished, you know, what still drives you to fight? Like,
May sound cliche, but greatness, honestly. You know, winning is amazing. Success is always great. Racking up belts and medals is great, but you know, you peel all that back, that's all just materialistic. You know, I've had the perfect experience with that, going from like winning this belt against an amazing opponent to my last two fights losing 2 times in a row. I've never even lost twice in a row in my amateur career. So I had to do a lot of, you know, reflection. And at the end of the day, you take the belt away, I'm still Jackie B. I'm still the same girl. I still have the same support and love around me. And that's all I need. Obviously, yes, I want to be champion again and get that back. But that's not my sole identity. I have an identity outside of fighting. This is just a big part of it. So that's what drives me, really. It's just keep achieving greatness, keep seeing what I'm made of, keep seeing what ceiling I could keep breaking, because I've done it before. I could do it again.
oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you step into the ring against these elite opponents, what sets you apart from them?
I want to say, I mean, anyone can say this, but I want to say mindset. I think I have a very durable, strong mindset from many life experiences and experiences in my fighting career as well. But also lucky enough to be under Brian. Like, I think I just have very good technicality and vision in terms of seeing things, and not that doesn't mean just defense, but reading my opponent and feeling the energy off of them.
And Jackie, what advice would you give to some up-and-coming fighters for them to achieve a high level of success? Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, I get a lot of people asking me online the same question, and honestly, it's the same thing every time, because it's something that I have to tell myself is, you know, F a timeline, follow your own timeline. I think in this day and age, with anything you do, it's so easy to compare and contrast yourself and what you're doing and your successes and when you're doing it, what age you're doing it, how long you've been doing it, and it's so easy to fall into that. I definitely have, but everyone has a different timeline in terms of success and achieving whatever it is they want. And, you know, I think I'm a clear answer to that. A lot of the things I've been wanting since I was very young, and I didn't get until maybe a year, 2 years ago. And that was just full faith, full trust in my journey and letting it all unfold organically and authentically.
and what advice would you have for coming back from a loss?
Coming back from a loss, I had to do a lot of work, you know. Obviously, I this is before I even had those 2 losses. I'm very confident in myself. I know who I am. So, you know, even if I did lose, I'm not going to sulk in that. I'm not the type of girl to stay down for so long. But I think the biggest thing is just, like I said earlier, knowing that if, you know, I've been able to do it again, I was able to win and have success before, there's still a future and a reality that I could do that again, plus more, even better. So it's just a belief, really. And I think the biggest thing is for every fight, but I think after the last fight, the biggest realization was like letting go of outcome. I think you could say that for any field you're in, but with athletics and combat sports, you go in there training for months of like, I want to win, obviously, but you can't force that the whole time. It's a given that you want to win, but you got to surrender to the outcome, because then you'll be free and present to do what you need to do.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't even let like a bad decision kind of affect you as well too.
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean? Because then you kind of sit on that for a while, and then you just don't really kind of, get to the place where you need to be, where it's getting your head back in the right spot so you can start training again.
Exactly that. Like the first fight with Stella, I thought kind of the same. I thought I won that and spent like a day kind of sulking, like, oh, I should have won that. But after that, I was like, whatever. Like I'm going to be able to fight again. I still put on a great performance. I could do it again.
Yeah. I want to ask you, I know there was a couple of times where you kind of didn't make the weight in the one championship. Like physically and mentally, to know that you're still going to go and fight, you got to kind of get your head together. But then at the same time, after the fight, you're getting ready for another fight, knowing that the previous fight that you didn't make the weight.
Yeah. So with one championship, you have hydration testing and then you have weigh-ins all done at the same time. I'm sure if you guys see one championship, they live stream it. So you got to do the hydration test first. You pass that or you fail it, then you step on the scales. So you got to pass both in order for a clear pass, right? Both times I was actually on weight, but I failed the hydration. I was dehydrated. So that didn't matter if you're still on weight. You still got to be past that test. And, you have a window, a time frame to retest. If that window, I forget, it's like 3 hours. If that passes, then you still didn't pass, then you have to negotiate a catch weight, which I was able to do for both fights. But yeah, so I think the first time was much more of a stressor because the first time that happened, I fought in the Philippines, and it was like late weigh-ins. It was like 8 p.m. and I was just ready to drink and eat, and then failed. I was on weight, but failed hydration, and my nutritionist, he's actually from Tennessee, so I don't even know what the time difference was from Philippines and Tennessee. I just remember freaking out, I'm like, what do I do, And he wasn't replying because it was probably like 2, 3 a.m. Right. But we figured it out. We were able to figure out a catch weight for both fights. But yeah, I think for me, again, it's easy to kind of like spiral and get down in that mental negative mindset. But for me, it was like, okay, whatever. I passed. We negotiated a catch weight. Out of sight, out of mind. I get to just fight now. So I'm very good with kind of compartmentalizing what I need to.
So tell us about why you're here this weekend. We heard you're here for a seminar for the Sisterhood Project. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, here for a seminar for the Sisterhood Project, brought to you by Sway as well. Yeah. But I'm excited. Yeah, I've met Anya, I don't even remember, a long time ago now, maybe 3-4 years ago. She hit me up when she was in LA to do privates, and, she'd keep coming back, and, she's such a dope person. And she messaged me, I forget, maybe earlier this year or last year to bring me out for the 1-year anniversary. And it was like a no-brainer. Of course I'd do it. And like I said, growing up, we didn't have like a lot of women in the sport, let alone all women's sparring, all women's training. And that's so popular now, which I love to see. So, me at 28 years old, being able to give back into the all-female community, like, that's a dream. That's a full circle moment for me. So again, giving back what I didn't really quite have when I was younger.
And how much have you seen women in Muay Thai and striking grow, as you've progressed?
Oh, tremendously, like night and day. There's so many other women who've opened those doors and paved the way when I was a lot younger. But I guess in my teen years where I was like kind of seeing a future in this sport, it was Tiffany Van Soos, amazing person, amazing striker. Anissa Mexon, of course. Those two were like in the glory days, up and coming, and kind of just showed me like, okay, like women are here and they're a force, and they can just do it as well as the guys, if not better, And then after that, you see more women coming up. Again, maybe I'm biased, but Janet Todd. Amazing, amazing person, amazing athlete, like my GOAT, honestly. She paved the way for the newer generation and even my generation, to make it on a big stage and be so freaking good and have so much success. And she had a similar story, she fought all throughout the U.S., all the tournaments in IFMA, then came in one and just had lost her first fight and then turned it around and just smoked it and won 2 world championships out of that. So it's amazing to see the growth there is now.
Yeah, Sean and I see it all the time at the gym where the classes are almost 50-50
Yeah.
with men and women. It's a great thing to see.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Even like the women's sparring as well too. We do on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, it's starting to grow more. You know.
Yeah, and again, like you didn't even, I didn't really get to see that until later 20s. Like even when I was still in my early 20s, there were still a lot of women, but it's not as booming as it is right now.
I mean, we were recently at a Fight Collective event where it was a charity smoker, and the most exciting match were two little girls. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
I
like
believe
7 years old, and they were amazing. They were
Yeah,
so
they was-
technical,
yeah,
and they were
yeah.
out there. So it's a real joy to see how the
No,
sport has grown.
I believe it. I mean, different sport, boxing, but I was just at my friend's boxing fight like a few weeks ago in San Diego, all women's event. It's like they call it the pink gloves, golden gloves, but pink
Yeah, the
gloves.
pink
And
gloves.
there's adults, there's little girls, and it was the same deal. Like the little girls were the most technical, exciting ones out there, and I'm just like, amazing to see. Like this is the future. If you're that good at this age, it's crazy to see where you'll be at in 5 years. So hopefully surpass what I've done, what all the other great women greats have done too.
Now, is there any chance we can see Jackie in MMA at all, or is that part
No.
of the vision?
No, I'm sorry to the MMA athletes, but no, I have no interest in that. If anything, I'd love to like try out boxing maybe in the future. I'd love to box. I think if you watch me fight, it's pretty obvious. I'm comfortable with my hands. But right now it's Muay Thai kickboxing's on the mind, but boxing is intriguing too.
Gotcha. And what's some advice you would give to some up and coming fighters? Just inspire them, or some advice that you learned as you came up in your career.
Oh man, too much things. But I kind of said it before, but I say it again because it's so true, and it's kind of what I live by in my career up until now. But people always ask whether it's how to get to the highest level, stay at the highest level, whether it's business outside of that in terms of like partnerships, how does that all happen? And honestly, I'm not looking for any of this besides just looking to pursue my journey as a martial artist, as a fighter. And I think if you have that mindset, at least for me, it was just doing everything authentically and genuinely of wanting to be a better athlete, better martial artist, and all the doors opened up for me then and there. So I think it's just, again, staying true to your own timeline, not trying to force things, not trying to accept opportunities, whether that's business or fights, for another reason that's out of you genuinely want to do it and your heart's in it, not because money or it looks cool online, whatever. I think the biggest thing is just be authentic to yourself. I know it's cliche, but that's what helped me get all my success so far.
Gotcha. And we've seen you do some fun projects such as Vogue Philippines and other fun projects. How has it been working on these other projects outside of fighting?
Really fun. I mean, I don't know any other girl who tell you playing dress up isn't fun. I think it's super fun. I'm not gonna say I'm like an extreme fashionista girly girl, but like I do love clothes and shopping. Like I'm not afraid to admit it. Like I like materialistic things, but these things kind of just, it all happened through Muay Thai. Honestly, I'm not looking to do photo shoots and X, Y, and Z at all. All these doors open through my Muay Thai career, my Muay Thai journey, from just my friends as photographers in the space, shooting me training, shooting me fight. Hey, let's do lifestyle stuff like that. Things just kept opening, and crazy enough, Vogue Philippines came. Would never think that would be an opportunity in my lifetime, and had to jump on that, of course.
Yeah,
Nice.
we got to get Sean on Vogue somehow.
I'll make the
Vogue
call
Lon-
for you.
Vogue
yeah.
London.
Vogue London,
Vogue London,
Yeah,
yeah.
Vogue
We'll make
London.
that happen. So what's next for you, Jackie?
Trying to get another fight, I'd love to go back into Muay Thai, put the little gloves back on. But we'll see. Right now, just kind of the waiting game. You know how it goes with fights. So
How long do you think you normally wait between fights?
It's really dependent. Like, just to give you an example, like my first year in 2021, fought in February. Right after the fight, they're like, can you come back in 2 weeks? I was like, no. My hand was like super messed up. I like pulled a ligament on my knuckle, which took like almost a year to heal just from hitting with those small gloves. But thugged it out, came back 2 months later. So it could be like they want you back in 2 weeks, they want you back in 2 months, they want you back in the end of the year. You know, that first year I fought 3 times, which was kind of perfect. And then after that, it was about like 2 times a year. It's just really just dependent, you know, obviously dependent with how you come out of a fight unscathed or not too.
And your contract with them is for how long?
I think I don't know how long. I think I have a few more fights with them, probably a bit more.
And no, obviously you're going to just focus on those few fights before you plan on, you know, post or after one championship.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just focus on what's next. Obviously, the goal is get my kickboxing belt back and get the Muay Thai belt back. And it's just, oddly enough, it's the same girl who has it. So fight her again 3-4 times. I'm down to do that. So we'll see.
Amazing.
Nice.
So excited to see you fight next, and it's been an honor to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, and you're welcome back to New York City anytime, and especially for a recap video of everything you ate here and all the traffic you did. So we'd love to have you back.
Oh, definitely. I'll eat my way out throughout the whole city.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.